Welcome back, coin collectors. Today, we're exploring the exciting world of United States one-dime coins and counting down the top 4 most valuable American dimes ever discovered. These tiny silver and clad coins may look small, but certain rare years, mint marks, and conditions have turned ordinary dimes into incredible treasures worth thousands and sometimes millions of dollars. Let's get started first up the 1995 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark. At first glance, this small 10-cent coin may look ordinary, especially when it is in very bad condition. Many people think damaged coins are worthless, but some collectors still search for certain dates, mint marks, and rare errors even when the condition is poor. In this video, we will explore the history of the 1995 P dime, its special features, collector demand, and how much it could sell for at auction in dollars. You might even have one hiding in your pocket change right now. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death in 1945. Roosevelt was greatly admired for his leadership during difficult times in American history, including the Great Depression and World War II. The dime replaced the older Mercury dime design and has remained one of the longest-running coin series in United States history. The 1995 Roosevelt dime was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which uses the P mint mark. Millions of these dimes were struck for circulation, making them very common in everyday use. Because so many were produced most 1995, P dimes are not considered rare in average circulated condition. However, coins with unusual errors, strong strikes, or special conditions can attract attention from collectors. Even heavily worn or damaged examples sometimes become valuable if they contain a rare minting mistake. The obverse or front side of the 1995 P dime features a portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Around the portrait, you can see the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 1995. The small P mint mark appears near the date, showing it was made in Philadelphia. On the reverse side, the coin displays a torch in the center, representing liberty. Beside the torch are an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength and independence. The words United States of America and one dime surround the design. The coin is made from a copper core covered by a copper nickel layer. Even in very bad condition, these design details can usually still be recognized. Some damaged coins may appear dark, scratched, bent, or heavily worn after years of circulation. Surprisingly, collectors sometimes enjoy owning these survivor coins because they tell a story of long use in everyday American life. In very bad condition, an ordinary 1995 P dime is usually not rare because millions were circulated across the country. Most worn examples are worth only face value, which is 10 cents. However, collector demand changes completely if the coin has an unusual mint error or unique feature. For example, collectors often search for off-center strikes, double dies, clip planchets, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong metal. If a damaged 1995 P dime also contains one of these rare mint errors, its value can increase dramatically. Even heavily worn error coins may sell for hundreds of dollars, depending on the severity of the mistake and collector interest. Another factor is sentimental collecting. Some coin collectors enjoy building date and mint collections using affordable circulated coins. Because of this, even low-grade examples still have a small collector market online and at coin shows. Now let's talk about value. A normal 1995 P dime in very bad condition is usually worth between 10 cents and $1. Most dealers will simply treat it as pocket change unless it has a special feature. If the coin is heavily damaged but still identifiable and attractive to collectors, it could sell for around $2 to $5 in online auctions. Coins with unusual toning or interesting wear patterns sometimes attract beginner collectors. However, if the dime is a confirmed mint error, the value can rise much higher. Minor error examples may sell for $20 to $100, while major errors can bring several $100s. In rare cases, exceptional error dimes from the 1990s have sold for over $1,000 at auction, especially when certified by professional grading companies. The biggest value always depends on rarity, collector demand, and the type of error involved. That is why checking every old coin carefully is always important. If you find a 1995 P dime in very bad condition, do not clean it. Cleaning can damage the surface and lower collector value. Instead, store the coin safely in a small holder or protective flip. Always inspect a coin under good lighting. Look closely for doubled letters, unusual shapes, missing details, or strange colors that may indicate a mint error. Using a magnifying glass can help you spot small details that are easy to miss. You can also compare your coin with verified examples online or ask experienced coin collectors for opinions. If you believe your dime may contain a rare error, consider sending it to a professional grading company for authentication. Another smart tip is to search through bankrolls and pocket change regularly. Valuable coins are still occasionally discovered in circulation, and many collectors have found hidden treasures in ordinary coin jars. The 1995 P. Roosevelt dime may seem like a common coin, especially in very bad condition, but every coin has a story. While most damaged examples are worth only face value, certain rare errors and unusual features can make them highly collectible and surprisingly valuable in the auction market. This small 10-cent coin reminds us that even ordinary pocket change can sometimes turn into a hidden treasure. So before you spend your old dimes, take a closer look. You never know what valuable discovery might be waiting in your collection. Next up, the 1967 United States Roosevelt dime with no mint mark. At first glance, this small silver-colored coin may seem ordinary, but collectors around the world continue searching for high-quality examples and rare error varieties that can bring impressive prices at auctions. In this video, we'll explore the history of the 1967 dime, its unique features, collector demand, and how much this coin could actually be worth today in fine condition. If you enjoy rare coin discoveries and hidden treasure stories, make sure to stay until the end, because this little dime has a fascinating story behind it. The 1967 Roosevelt dime was produced during an important period in American coin history. The Roosevelt dime series first began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt shortly after his passing. Roosevelt was admired for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and he also played a major role in supporting the March of Dimes charity organization. By 1967, the United States Mint was dealing with a major coin shortage across the country. To stop people from hoarding coins, the Mint temporarily removed mint marks from all circulating coins between 1965 and 1967. That is why the 1967 dime has no mint mark, even though it was produced at different mint facilities. This unusual decision makes these coins historically interesting to collectors today. Another important change had already happened just a couple years earlier. Before 1965, Roosevelt dimes were made from 90% silver. However, because silver prices increased dramatically, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition in 1965. The 1967 dime was therefore made with a copper core covered by nickel layers, giving it the same appearance as older silver dimes while costing less to produce. The 1967 Roosevelt dime has several features collectors examine closely. On the front of the coin, you'll find a portrait of President Roosevelt facing left. The word Liberty appears along the side, while the motto, "In God We Trust," in the year 1967, appear near the bottom down reverse side. The design shows a torch in the center representing liberty, along with an olive branch symbolizing peace and an oak branch symbolizing strength and independence. The words United States of America surround the edge, along with the denomination 1 dime. Although millions of these coins were produced, some special varieties make certain examples more valuable. Collectors search for coins with strong strikes, full torch details, unusual die errors, double lettering, or off-center strikes. Even tiny differences can dramatically increase the value of a 1967 dime in fine condition. The coin still shows moderate wear, but the major details remain visible. Roosevelt's hair and facial details may appear slightly smooth, while the torch lines on the reverse can still be partially seen. Coins in this condition are common, but attractive examples without heavy scratches or damage are still collectible. One surprising fact about the 1967 dime is that even damaged examples can still attract attention if they contain rare mint errors. Normally, a damaged coin loses much as collector value. Coins with corrosion, bending, scratches, or discoloration are usually worth only face value. However, error collectors often pay significant amounts for unusual production mistakes. For example, a 1967 dime with a dramatic off-center strike clip planchet, or double die error can sell for far more than an ordinary circulated coin. Some collectors also look for transitional errors or coins struck on the wrong metal planchets. These rare mistakes are extremely difficult to find, which creates strong demand in the auction market. Another reason collectors like the 1967 dime is because of its historical importance during the coin shortage era. Since mint marks were intentionally removed for several years, these coins represent a unique period in U.S. mint history that cannot be repeated. Now let's talk about the value of the 1967 Roosevelt dime in today's market. In normal circulated fine condition, most examples are worth around 10 cents to $1, depending on appearance and collector interest. Because the coin is very common, ordinary pieces do not usually sell for large amounts. However, coins in higher grades can become much more valuable. Uncirculated 1967 dimes with strong details and brilliant surfaces may sell for $5, $15, or even higher. Coins certified by professional grading companies in extremely high mint state grades can reach hundreds of dollars at auction. Rare error coins are where the real excitement begins. Certain double die examples, off-center strikes, or full torch specimens have sold for hundreds and sometimes even thousands of dollars, depending on rarity and condition. Auction prices continue to rise whenever collectors discover exceptional examples with unusual characteristics. It is important to remember that condition plays a huge role in value. A clean and attractive fine condition coin will always be more desirable than a heavily damaged one. Professional grading can also increase buyer confidence and improve auction results. If you are searching for valuable 1967 dimes, there are several important tips to keep in mind. First, always examine your coins carefully under bright light or magnification. Small details and minting errors are often difficult to see with the naked eye. Second, pay attention to the edges of the coin. Since the 1967 dime is clad rather than silver, you can usually see a copper-colored stripe along the edge. If a coin appears different from normal, it could deserve closer inspection. Third, avoid cleaning your coins. Many beginners think cleaning improves appearance, but collectors actually prefer original surfaces. Cleaning can reduce a coin's value significantly. Fourth, consider storing coins in protective holders or albums to prevent further wear and damage. Proper storage helps maintain collector value over time. Finally, if you believe you have discovered a rare error or exceptionally high-grade example, you may want to send it to a professional grading service for authentication. Certified coins often perform better in auctions and collector sales. The 1967 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark may seem like an ordinary coin at first, but its history, unique background, and potential error varieties make it a fascinating piece for collectors. While most circulated examples in fine condition are worth only a small amount above face value, rare errors in high-grade specimens can bring surprisingly high auction. Next up, the 1980 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark. At first glance, this tiny silver-colored coin may appear common, especially when it's dirty, worn out, or damaged from years of circulation. But some collectors are still willing to pay surprising amounts of money for certain examples, especially coins with rare errors, strong details, or unusual conditions. In today's video, we will explore the history of the 1980 D dime, its unique features, collector demand, rarity and dirty condition, and the auction market value in dollars. Make sure to watch until the end because some rare error varieties of this coin have sold for far more than face value. The 1980 D Roosevelt dime was produced at the Denver Mint in the United States. The Roosevelt dime series first began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death in 1945. Roosevelt was admired for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and he also helped inspire the March of Dimes campaign against polio, BY 1980. The United States Mint was producing millions of dimes every year for circulation. The Denver Mint struck more than 735 million dimes in 1980, making this coin extremely common in ordinary circulated condition. Because of this huge production number, most 1980 D dimes found today are only worth face value. However, collectors know that even common coins have become valuable when they have rare mint errors, unusual strike characteristics, or exceptional preservation. That is why people continue checking old dimes carefully. The 1980 D. Roosevelt dime has several identifying features that collectors examine closely. On the front of the coin, also called the obverse, you will see the portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left. The word Liberty appears along the left side, while the motto "In God We Trust" is placed below the neck. The year 1980 appears on the lower right side, and just above the year is a small D mint mark, showing the coin was made in Denver on the reverse side. The coin features a torch in the center representing liberty, along with an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength and independence. Around the design are the words United States of America and 1 dime. The coin is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of silver. This means ordinary 1980 dimes contain no silver value. The diameter is 17.9 millimeters, and the coin weighs about 2.27 grams. Collectors especially search for minting mistakes such as off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or coins struck on the wrong metal. These rare varieties can dramatically increase the value of an otherwise common dime. Now let's talk about dirty and damaged condition coins. Most 1980 D dimes found today have heavy circulation wear. Some coins appear dark, stained, scratched, or covered in dirt after decades of use. In general, a dirty 1980 D dime is not considered rare because millions were heavily circulated across the United States that a typical dirty or worn example is usually only worth 10 cents to a coin dealer. However, collectors may still keep these coins if they have strong details, unusual toning, or possible mint errors. Sometimes a dirty coin hides valuable features underneath years of grime and oxidation. There's also growing interest among beginner coin collectors who enjoy filling Roosevelt dime albums. Even lower-grade coins are sometimes purchased in bulk collections. While the average dirty 1980 D dime is not rare, finding one with an error or high-quality strike can make it much more desirable. Coins with dramatic errors in circulated condition have still sold for impressive prices at auctions because error collectors care more about rarity than cleanliness. So how much is a 1980 D. Roosevelt dime actually worth today? In dirty and heavily circulated condition, most coins are worth only face value, around 10 cents. Some coin shops may pay slightly more in bulk quantities, but ordinary examples are extremely common. Coins in fine circulated condition may sell for around 25 cents to $1, depending on appearance. Uncirculated examples with strong luster can reach between $3 and $15. Now here's where things become exciting. Rare error coins from 1980 D can be worth much more. Offset or strike examples may sell for $50 to several $100s, depending on the severity of error. Double die varieties and wrong planchet errors can also attract serious collector attention. High-grade certified examples graded by professional services, such as PCGS or NGC, have sold at auction for over $100, especially in mint state grades like MS67 or higher. Exceptional examples with full torch details are particularly valuable because they are difficult to find. So, even though most dirty 1980 D dimes are common, checking for errors and strong strike quality could reveal a hidden treasure. If you own a 1980 D. Roosevelt dime, there are several important things you should do before spending it. First, never clean the coin aggressively. Cleaning can damage the surface and lower collector value. Even dirty coins should be left in their original condition unless handled by professionals. Second, examine the coin carefully under bright light or with a magnifying glass. Look for doubling in the letters and numbers, off-center designs, clipped edges, or unusual colors. Third, check the condition of the torch on the reverse side. Coins with fully visible horizontal and vertical bands on the torch are called full torch examples, and these are more desirable to collectors. Fourth, store interesting coins in protective holders to avoid further damage. Humidity and scratches can reduce value over time. Finally, if you think your coin may have an error or unusually high grade, consider sending it to a professional grading company for authentication. The 1980 D. Roosevelt dime may seem like an ordinary coin at first, especially in dirty or worn condition, but it still has an interesting story in the world of coin collecting. While most circulated examples are worth only face value, rare errors, high-grade specimens, and strong strike details can make certain coins surprisingly valuable at auction. This is why collectors continue searching through old change every day. Hidden among common coins could be a rare dime worth far more than 10 cents. Next up, the 2002 D. Roosevelt dime. At first glance, this tiny 10-cent coin may not seem valuable at all, especially in circulated condition. But some collectors are paying close attention to these modern dimes because certain examples can bring surprising auction prices depending on condition, rarity, and mint errors. In today's video, we'll explore the history of the 2002 D-Dime, its unique features, collector demand, rarity and circulated condition, and its current market value in dollars. Make sure to stay until the end because you might already have one of these coins sitting in your pocket change right now. The Roosevelt dime series began in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The United States honored Roosevelt because of his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and because of his connection to the March of Dimes charity campaign. Since then, Roosevelt's portrait has remained on the dime for decades. The 2002 D. Roosevelt dime was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small D mint mark found near the date on the front of the coin. In 2002, the United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of dimes for circulation. Because so many were made, most examples are still common today. However, collectors know that not all circulated coins survive in attractive condition. Many become scratched, damaged, weakly struck, or heavily worn after years in circulation. Modern coins like the 2002 D-Dime are becoming more collectible because people are now searching rolls and pocket change for hidden treasures. Even a coin that seems ordinary can become valuable if it has a rare minting error or unusually sharp details. The obverse or front side of the 2002 D. Roosevelt dime features a portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left. Around the portrait are the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 2002. The small D mint mark appears next to the date, showing that the coin was produced in Denver. On the reverse side, the coin displays a torch in the center representing liberty, with an olive branch symbolizing peace and an oak branch representing strength and independence. The words "United States of America, 1 dime," and "E pluribus unum" surround the design. The coin is made from a copper core covered by a nickel-clad outer layer. Unlike older silver dimes made before 1965, the 2002 D-Dime contains no silver. Even so, collectors still search for high-quality examples because modern coins with clean surfaces and strong mint luster can be surprisingly difficult to find after years of circulation. Some collectors also watch for mint errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, die cracks, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. These unusual errors can dramatically increase the value of a 2002 D-Dime. In circulated condition, the 2002 D-Dime is generally common because millions were released into everyday commerce. Most worn examples are only worth face value. However, collector demand increases when the coin has unusual characteristics or survives in unusually strong condition. Damaged or heavily circulated examples usually have little premium unless they contain a visible mint error. For example, a circulated dime with scratches, dark toning, or may only be worth 10 cents. But if that same coin shows a dramatic off-center strike or a strong double design, collectors could pay significantly more. One interesting thing about modern dimes is that many people spend them without checking condition. Because of this, truly high-grade circulated coins with strong details and minimal damage can sometimes attract collector attention. Coin roll hunters especially enjoy searching bankrolls for these hidden modern treasures. Another factor increasing interest is the growing popularity of social media and YouTube coin collecting channels. Many viewers become excited after hearing stories about ordinary coins selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. While most 2002 D-Dimes are not rare, exceptional examples continue to attract attention in the numismatic market. Now, let's talk about the value of the 2002 D. Roosevelt dime in circulated condition. Most standard circulated examples are worth only their face value of 10 cents. Coins with heavy wear, scratches, or environmental damage generally do not sell for much more than that. However, lightly circulated examples with strong eye appeal may sell for around 50 cents to $2 to beginning collectors filling album spaces. Uncirculated examples with bright luster can range from $3 to $10 depending on grade. When it comes to certified high-grade coins of value can rise dramatically. Some near-perfect mint-state examples graded by professional grading companies have sold for much higher prices at auction because flawless modern coins are surprisingly difficult to find. Mint-era examples are where things become exciting. A 2002 D-dime with a strong error such as an off-center strike, broad strike, or dramatic doubling could sell anywhere from $20 to several $100s depending on rarity and visibility of the mistake. Collectors should remember that online auction prices can vary greatly. Condition, grading, demand, and the type of mint error all affect the final sale price. If you want to collect 2002 Roosevelt dimes, the first step is to carefully examine your pocket change and bankrolls. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the date, mint mark, and lettering for unusual doubling or striking errors. Look for coins with sharp details, fewer scratches, and bright original surfaces. Even circulated coins can have collectible value if they are well preserved. Avoid cleaning coins because cleaning often reduces collector value and leaves visible damage on the surface. Storing coins properly is also important. Place your dimes in coin flips, holders, or albums to protect them from moisture and scratches. Sometimes appear in unexpected places. While most circulated examples are only worth face value, certain high-grade coins and mint-era varieties can bring impressive auction prices. That's why searching through pocket change remains one of the most exciting parts of coin collecting. You never know when a small 10-cent coin could turn into a valuable collectible worth far more than you imagined. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries and valuable pocket change videos. And let us know in the comments, have you ever found an interesting Roosevelt dime in circulation?